Hi, and welcome to The Bright Balloon, a podcast where I'm sharing bright ideas for your balloon business. My name is Sarah Meyer, and I'm a balloon business owner like you, and I love the creative side of what I do, but I really love the business side, which seems to be the part where most people struggle. So I'm here to help. Each week, I'm bringing you an episode full of bite-sized tips you can use to make improvements in your business. I want you to make more money, eliminate stress, and learn along with me as we grow our creative businesses together. Welcome to The Bright Balloon, presented by 17 Hats. Hello and welcome to another episode. Today I am chatting once again with Jeff Kelly from Balloon Suite. We are talking about websites for your balloon business, including an easy to replicate formula that we should all be doing on our homepage. It seriously blew my mind. So let's get into this interview about Balloon Suite with Jeff, who has been a longtime supporter of the podcast. He is a sponsor, and I'm so grateful for him and all that he does for our community. So let's get into it. Thanks, Jeff, for being on this episode. Welcome back, Jeff, once again. And I think people have probably noticed by now that the ads that run have changed from Asset Lab to Balloon Suite, which is why we are now here talking about Balloon Suite. So give us the spiel about what Balloon Suite is. Some of us who have been around a while may remember Balloon Suite, but now it's back. So catch us up. What is happening with Balloon Suite?
Well, it's so great to be here. I'm so happy to be in your car or in your ear or on your walk with you today. Balloon Suite is really the culmination for me and my team and all of our knowledge on balloon decor and what's working in balloon decor. And we kind of brought that all together in a brand and some marketing packages that just fit your business. So our goals with Balloon Suite are to help you save time, help you get to, straight to what works in your online marketing and generating, leads and interest in your area that you serve. It's helping you get more inquiries, more quote requests, more sales. And it's really there to give you an option to just make it really easy to work with people who already know your business, already know balloon decor, and really just get your business moving faster in the marketing side. So you can focus more on your art and your operations and your team and your van and all these other things that you need to deal with as a business owner.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can't stress enough the importance of having a website. I still can't believe that a lot of people don't have websites. Like, that's baffling to me. But I forget what it was like in the beginning, and it was very intimidating, and it was one of those things that you just don't really know where to start. Especially if you have business, if you have word of mouth business, it's like, well, why do I need a website? But as things grow, you want those strangers, right? You want those people who you aren't, your grandma's not telling them to book you. It's like people finding you on the internet. But that's a big deal. That's a big problem. So let's talk about the process. Like, if someone is intimidated and doesn't have a website, what is it like to use Balloon Suite versus the alternative, which is just like kind of a big mystery?
Balloon Suite is very, very easy to get started with. So if you're at the position in your business right now where maybe you have an Instagram profile or a Facebook page and that's how you're generating business, and you're, this website thing is out there and you're curious to know what you should do. One of the advantages you have in coming to Balloon Suite to get your website, to get your domain name, your email address, get that stuff just checked off, is that you're going to come out of that no matter what package you start on. You can start on the base package. You're going to come out of that with a one-page website within a day or two, built for you on a website template that looks like balloon decor. All the website templates that we have as part of Balloon Suite are balloon decor templates. You might have some rentals or some other things you're doing on the side. Maybe you're doing some bounce houses or others like that. Yep, there's certainly room for that, but it's super, super easy to get signed up. You're going to have at least, if nothing else, a one-page website right out of the gate. Using the template you pick. And if you need it, it includes your domain name and your professional email address. And then every month we're doing website sessions. You can join on Zoom, and a member of the team or a couple members of the team will be there to answer questions and work through whatever you need on your website, helping you kind of navigate that. So there's plenty of help there for you. And we just, I knew it for businesses at that point where you're just getting started, you're just trying to figure out how to get that professionalism up so people who don't know you will contact you. We just wanted to make that part so easy. And that's why we've got all those pre-built templates in there, right? You can't go to any other website builder and find templates for balloon decor websites, at least as of right now. And so that really just helps you solve that problem right out of the gate.
Right. Absolutely. And I built my website 100 years ago on Wix, and they have those templates and they look good. But then you're like, wait, I clicked over to the update this page and it's like for a coffee shop. So now I have to like retrofit this whole thing to make sense, and it doesn't work. And then you pick a different template and it's like you're starting over. So I think that's very cool that it's geared towards balloon people specifically. Let's pause and back up, because we dove right into it because I wanted to get into like the goodies. But Asset Lab is still a business. Asset Lab is still the umbrella, and now you've niched down to serve balloon people. How did that come about?
It really just came about because the number of clients we have in balloon decor is it grew so quickly. We learned so much about the industry. You know, my team has, when we do social events for my team now, since we're all over the country, we'll get on Zoom or Google Meet and we'll build a balloon garland, or we'll do some balloon twisting, or, you know, I mean, like that's what we do for our events. It really just became obvious that we understood your businesses so well and what you're trying to do and how to generate more sales for you and how to help solve these problems for you so you can get more time back, that it just made sense for us to create a balloon decor specific space. So, you know, some of you listening right now, you may be Asset Lab clients, and that's fine. It's the same team behind the scenes. Some of you may be Balloon Suite clients. Yep, no problem. It's the same team behind the scenes. You're getting the same kind of level of service in both places. Balloon Suite is where we're going to consolidate all that balloon specific knowledge and expertise over time. And so if you're thinking about starting another side hustle and you're thinking about, I don't know, creating a nonprofit, or you have a brother or sister or uncle or cousin who has a business and they do pressure washing or electrical or things like that, Asset Lab can still serve kind of any type of business in any market in the United States. And Balloon Suite's just where we're going to focus on balloon decor as an industry and get really, really great for you there.
Cool. What type of things are specific to balloons? Like what type of content or template things are there that make it specific to balloon people? Is it the design or is it the functionality?
I would say it's some of everything.
Okay.
So I can give you a very specific example when it comes to managing Google ads. Some of you may be using Google search ads to generate leads and sales and meet new people. The words and the techniques we use in Google ads to target balloon decor business and people looking for, you know, decor for a birthday party or decor for a business grand opening, it's very, very different than kind of any other business group we work with. And so because of that, it makes a lot of sense for us. We literally have a process guide in internal that lists out exactly how we approach everything about a Google Ads account specific to a balloon decor and, you know, kind of related rentals or entertainment business, because it's so different than all the other business types that we focus on.
That's really interesting. And I've noticed that too, because I've actually started going with professionals who are already in the balloon industry. And I feel like it's a huge advantage. So like you or the Fiores who like do bookkeeping specific for balloon people, because I feel like it in the end saves me time versus hiring, you know, a local SEO person. But then I have to take my time to explain exactly what words I want them to use. And it's like, if I knew those words, I wouldn't have to hire you. Like, I want the expertise of someone within the balloon industry, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. I'll be honest, you know, I used to always hire people local to me for the services I needed in my business. And I've definitely learned that I get a lot more business value and the outcomes come a lot faster when I hire people who know my business well already. And I am one more of many clients of the exact same type with the same problems. We get to growth and solutions so much faster than if someone has to figure it out for the first time. And that's a huge benefit in coming to Balloon Suite is that we've done all of this before. We work with, I don't know exactly where you're at. You might be thinking about starting a side hustle. You might be, Scott and Tommy from Balloons by Tommy. We've worked with all of you in all of those positions, and we've seen it before, and we understand what your challenges are and what your opportunities are at every stage. And that's built in Balloon Suite. That's built into all the packages we have. And so you're getting, you come in and you come to some package level, or you come to us with some sort of problem or goal you're trying to work on. We've been down that path already with others, and we know exactly how to approach it based on that experience we have already. And it saves you a ton of time. It saves, if you hire someone who's local who doesn't know balloon decor, they're going to have to go learn those things. And that's going to take time. So it's going to take more of your time and more of your money to get to the same point as if you work with somebody who already knows your type of business and the type of challenges you're facing right now.
Yeah, very cool. Let's stay on the SEO thing, even though I know that's not quite website, but you guys do all that, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Inside of Balloon Suite packages, there's websites. We do SEO, we do advertising, we do all sorts of, blogging and all sorts of different things associated with your marketing.
So is SEO still like a game that we are playing, or is it all paid advertising at this point?
It's okay. Well, if we're comparing game to paid advertising, it's definitely in the game category.
Okay.
We can certainly, in some cases, it makes more sense to advertise than it does to spend time and treasure on search engine optimization. And search engine optimization is all about making it so that when somebody types in balloon garland near me, or, balloon arch for a birthday party, that your business is showing up right there in Google near the top. Like, that's the goal of search engine optimization.
Right.
There are a ton of things that we do to help improve how Google and other search engines, to improve what they think about your business and your website so that they show your website more highly. And sometimes ads are the right way to go, and sometimes SEO is the right way to go, and sometimes it's both. And it normally really just comes down to budget. The more budget you're spending on ads, the better it is to also spend money on SEO. Or the more money you're spending on search engine, optimizing your business for search, the more it also makes sense to do some advertising. So at every level in Balloon Suite, we include SEO features, and you have a dashboard of the SEO and the data that we can see about your business. Even at the base package, that dashboard is there. At the top end package, we're spending hours and hours every month working to improve how your business performs in search engines, because that's a key way where we're going to get those strangers into your website and get them to understand what you do and convert to a lead or a sale or to a purchase of a grab and go garland or something like that.
Yeah, cool. I was just on the 17 hats training yesterday. And they said this term that I've never heard before. And she said, basically, you want to think of your clients in like generations. And there's like the first generation client, which are like, when you start business, it's like your friends and family, right? Like the people who know you directly. And then the second generation is like the people that they referred, but you can kind of still trace back. You can kind of be like, oh, they heard about me from my cousin, like, cool. And then there's like that third generation of clients where it's like strangers who don't know you, who are literally just finding your business. And that's where you start, A, like you want that to happen. And B, that's where the chaos kind of starts happening. And that's when they suggested you should probably start upgrading to a CRM. You probably want to have a website to get to that point. Like, I don't know, that's just been in my brain lately. And I feel like newbies are the ones that are like, oh, I don't have a website, shoot. But I feel like it's actually like the people who are 3 or 4 years in, who still don't have websites, who still don't have an organizational, like a CRM. And that's where you start like floundering and business starts seeming really, really challenging. So I don't think we're necessarily talking to newbies who don't have a website. I think we're talking to people who are kind of reaching that third generation of client who are all of a sudden like, I need a website. Like, people are looking for me online.
I think you're absolutely right. And if you're listening and you've built your own website, and that was a couple of years ago or a few years ago, and you're seeing some growth, or maybe you're stuck, you're not really growing anymore, you plateaued in your market, or you're dealing with competition, that's a fantastic time to hit the pause button and try to figure out where you go from here in generating new relationships with people so that they can find your business and they can choose to work with you without you having to spend any time working with them, right? That's really when you get to that point in business, and it's the third generation that 17 Hats talks about. when you get to that point in your business, it's pretty powerful because your business starts to grow without you needing to know every single client or have had a conversation with every single client. That is a very, very powerful moment when you hit that in your business. So, your needs are different though as well. You're not just starting out. You're not just a social media profile. And in the Balloon Suite world, what that means is we've got those packages kind of in the middle of the range where we're going to take care of several of your needs, not just one of your needs, right? You're past just needing a website. You need some of these other things too. You want to have the grab and go garland store, or you want to be getting together with other people on a monthly basis to do some strategy discussions about business and how to grow or problems you're having. That's how we think about it. And what I think about in those first and second generations is the term we use here is the friends and family plan. You're still on the friends and family plan in those first and second generations that 17 Hats talks about. It's still your mom and your cousin and your brother and your sister and the other people that you know really well that are the people that are ordering from you. And once your business can transition forward to it's people who did a Google search, or they just thought about doing something for their son or daughter's birthday, or they're doing something in their business. Once you get to the point where those people can find you without having to have known you, it's a really powerful moment where your business can grow.
I remember that actually. I mean, my first mystery client was back when I was still a face painter, but I remember that booking coming in. I remember the apartment. I remember I dropped my paintbrush on their white carpet. Like, I remember everything about it because I was like, these are like real clients. This is working. It was the first time that I was like, this is gonna work. And it was, I mean, probably 10 years now, but yeah, I still remember.
Yeah, I think a lot of business owners remember that. I certainly remember that happening in my business, where all of a sudden we had a website to build for someone who I had never met before. It's a pretty fantastic moment. And then once you reach that moment, if you want to continue growing, you generally have to do better, right? I mean, you got to that point. Good job, check that box. But now, if you want 100 of those clients in a month, there's a lot more work to do to keep moving and progressing in that direction.
Right. And I always imagine like someone on my heels. I always think I'm like a really hard worker, but I'm like, I got to this point, but that means someone else can get to this point too. So I need to keep going. And then once I get comfortable, it's like, nope, there's someone out there grinding just as hard as me and they're right behind me. So I have to keep pushing. But then I get into this bad habit too of trying to fix things that aren't broken. And I feel like that happens a lot on websites. I think people are always wanting to like update and modify and change all their galleries. And it's like we're in this constant phase of procrastinating is what Denise Duffield Thomas calls it. Like, no, if I just do a photo shoot to get beautiful photos on my website, then the business is going to come rolling in. And it's like, or you just need a website first. Like that's what you need.
Yeah, it can be very difficult to figure out what to invest your time and treasure in when it comes to what you're doing in branding or marketing or online. And, it comes back again to the conversation about working with someone or a team of people who know where you're at and understand where you're at and know what it takes to get from whatever level you're at now to the next level. A great example of this is we worked with a political candidate one year who wanted to become a mayor. And he spent way too much time on his website tweaking little things and editing text and adding a new image of his family and doing all of these things, when what he should have been doing was going out and knocking on doors and meeting people in the city, right? That's what would have generated votes for him. It's no different in balloon decor. So I hope you stuck with me on that example in politics, because it's no different. If you spend your whole day working on your Instagram or your Facebook or your website, but you're looking for business clients, it would be far more effective to be doing other things with your day than tweaking your website to generate business clients, right? It's just not the thing that's going to bring those clients in today if you're trying to figure out what's most valuable for my next 60 minutes. Now, if your website doesn't represent a business customer, yeah, we do need to get that. We do need a business customer to feel like on your website or on your social or in your advertising, whatever it might be, that you want them and that you can work for them and solve their problem. But we've got to make sure we keep a rein in on where we're at and what it's going to take to get to the next level. And when you're surrounding yourself with a team of people who know what that is, you're way ahead, because they can tell you, yep, you're at this point, and you need to get to here. And so here's the 4 things on your website, and here's the 4 things elsewhere in your marketing. And then here's the 2 things you need to do with your team.
Yeah, I totally agree. So much of what you just said, I totally agree with. And I struggle with it because I'm super frugal. So I totally understand the people who are like, but it's cheaper if I do it myself. It's like, yes, if your time is worth nothing and if you have literally nothing else to be doing. So like you said, it's like, is it more valuable to work on your website for free, or is it more valuable to pay someone to do it while you are at a networking event bringing in money? Like I feel guilty because I finally hired a cleaning person and she's amazing. But I'm like, am I making more money by cleaning my own toilets or by sending this invoice that literally lets people give me money? Also, I don't want to clean the toilet. So it's like, I've gotten to this next level in my business where I'm having to still fight that urge to be cheap, because it's not frugal anymore. It's cheap because you actually are losing money in other areas. Let's take a quick break. We'll hear from a sponsor, but I want to touch on another thing you mentioned, which was knowing the industry really well. And I think grab and go garlands are one area that you're really, really standing out as someone who like gets what we do. So we'll take a quick break and we'll be right back. We'll get into garlands.
Holy cow, I can't even keep up with all of the new colors that are being released from all of the manufacturers. And you know who has them all? Havin A Party Wholesale. Our sponsors over at Havin A Party have all of the newest trending colors, all the things that we want to try and test out. It's just like a really fun time to be ordering balloons, and they've got it all. They even have a coupon for you if you are a listener of the Bright Balloon. Use the code BRIGHTBALLOON at checkout to save 5% on your orders at havinaparty.com.
All right, welcome back. Let's talk about grab and go garlands, because I offer grab and go garlands on my website. I do it through 17 Hats. I know you also help your clients offer this kind of automated grab and go feature. How are you doing it? How do you work with people who use 17 Hats online scheduling? Because grab and goes have been a game changer in my business. They've basically created additional hours in the day that I can make money. So how are you helping people do this?
Well, there's 2 really great ways if you have a Balloon Suite website where we can put together a grab and go store. One is we can work with your 17 Hats. We can, if you're using another platform, you're using some other scheduling platform or some other e-commerce tool or CRM tool, those will all integrate with your Balloon Suite website. So it's no problem, no matter what tool you're using. And we have a lot of clients that use 17 Hats and are using it for a grab and go store. So that is absolutely a pattern that we can follow. The e-commerce store that's available in the Balloon Suite plans can also run a grab and go store. So you can create those products on your website. You can put them up. You might want to sell some other things as well. You might want to sell balloon hugs, or you might want to sell some bouquets that are seasonal based on the holiday coming up, or some of those. You can put those in your store. And then as part of the checkout flow, you can get the information on, which day, which pickup window are you going to come in. And so as the owner of the store, when they're coming. You can set minimum amounts of time, between the order and when they're going to come pick up. So like if you don't want to get an order for 2 hours from now, no problem. You can set a 1-day minimum lead time or a 12-hour lead time. So we have that ability to run an e-commerce store right inside Balloon Suite. And there's a couple different levels of that, kind of depending on how advanced you want to get. And it can support all the way up through, think about the other businesses, your supplier, your distributor. We could run a full distributor type store in a Balloon Suite website as well, where you're shipping out product to folks. So there's a lot of range in there, but specific to the grab and go garland model, which is such a fantastic way to get started in e-commerce for balloon decor. You have lots of options in working with Balloon Suite, either something you already have, or if you want to use the store capability that we have built right in.
Yeah, very cool. Because I will say I love 17 Hats, but they're service based, and they're very clear about that. Like they are for service providers, which I am because I do installations. If you are, selling individual items or rentals, or you do a lot of like cash and carry, like you have more of a retail location, like 17 Hats isn't isn't for you. Like they are very upfront that they are not e-commerce. They're not going to try to help you figure out workarounds so that you can sell items. So certain things like my pop drops for New Year's Eve, I actually have to run those through Square and then embed that on my website and like find little workarounds, because 17 Hats is built up in a way that they send you the info, you're going to work with them, you're going to send them the invoice, and then they will pay. And that's not always ideal if you're selling standard like items. Say you do like paper plates and plasticware and stuff like that. That doesn't work with 17 Hats, but it sounds like it would with Asset Lab, or sorry, with
absolutely, it absolutely works in Balloon Suite. And
Gotcha.
17 Hats is a customer relationship manager.
Right.
It has a scheduling capability, and they can take payments as part of that scheduling capability. The challenge is if you want to sell 5 different things, you now have to set up 5 different calendars and scheduling paths and all that, right? So it doesn't scale well to doing more than 1 or 2 kind of different products in that way. And that's where using an e-commerce store like we have in Balloon Suite, that really gives you a lot of flexibility as to what do you want to offer and how are you going to fulfill that? Is it pickup? Is it delivery? Is it something being shipped out? Maybe it's a digital item? If you're creating templates and patterns and DIY kits, you can be selling all of those things together in one store in a Balloon Suite website, no problem.
That's very cool.
You get a lot of questions. People will sign up for the e-commerce plan, and then we often get a question pretty quickly. How do I set up a grab and go store, or how do I start selling this particular type of item? And we have videos in the Balloon Suite YouTube channel that'll walk you through exactly how to set up a grab and go garland store, exactly how to set up different types of products that you might sell or digital downloads or that sort of thing. So there's a lot of help for you in there if you're social and want help with it, or you're anti-social and just want to watch a video and follow along.
Very cool. So let's get into some practical tips, just little bonuses. So people who are listening who are either thinking about having a website or do have a website or maybe need a better website, can you give us any insights about like what is changing or trending? Because I know a few years ago it went from like kind of how my website is, and I don't love it, but it has like the homepage and then there's individual pages. But I noticed in the last few years, it's much more that scrolly, endless homepage. Does that make sense? Is that something we should be doing?
The role of your homepage is to help people who don't know what they want.
Okay.
Because someone who knows precisely what they want, they're probably going to land, Google or whatever tool they're using is probably going to land them on a different page of your website. So if they're looking for a grab and go garland and they were to type that into Google, they're probably going to end up on a garlands page if you've got a garlands page on your website. So we certainly want a website that has different pages for your different products or the different type of events you want to sell to or the different customer types, right? You might have a private parties page. You might have a business grand openings page. So we definitely really love the model where you've got pages for all of these things built out on your website, because it helps someone who comes to your website see exactly what they are thinking and say, yep, that's exactly the kind of work I was thinking about. Clearly, this is the business I want to hire. And then they go click that button to ask for a quote or order that product. So when we think about the homepage is really a place for someone who doesn't know what they want, and they're trying to figure out what they want and where to go for that.
Interesting.
Social media has taught us all to scroll endlessly. And so we actually call these skyscraper pages, where they just go on and on and on. And the idea is that you start in a very generic position with maybe an image slider or a rotator, or maybe it's just one hero image that kind of represents your work. You go into a little bit of story. You quickly show what kind of customers you work with, or what kind of decor, or do you have bounce house rentals, or explain what you do very quickly so that people are like, yes, I'm in the right spot. And then now you kind of get more and more detailed as you go down the page. And ultimately, so you might have a garland set, who's your target customers? You would want to deal with your target customers in order. So is your best target a wedding? So are you actually targeting the wedding planners, or are you targeting the venues? Or are you targeting the brides? Which one? So create the section for who you're actually targeting. Now, what's your second best target customer? Maybe it's warehouses. So give me a warehouse section. Now just keep on going down, right? By the time we get to your footer, wherever your footer shows up, someone like that, someone who ends up at your footer never made a decision to do anything.
Gotcha.
Right? It's like, how did you even get here? Like, I don't know. Like, So the footer is really the last moment you have with someone to say, where do you want to go?
Yeah.
And so when it comes to websites, and in particular, this is a connection with search engine optimization, your footer is actually really important, because it's that, how did you end up here? Let me get you somewhere where you feel like you're back on track again. We also jam a whole bunch of SEO stuff in there. But so that's some thoughts on
That just blew my mind.
Pages and your homepage and how you would structure a homepage, and then the fact that the footer on your website matters. If your footer right now, so a lot of Wix websites, you literally have a copyright and a logo.
Yeah.
And as you're totally missing the boat. You're totally missing the opportunity to help that visitor if they end up at the bottom of your page, because the alternative is they have to scroll all the way back up and figure out what they want to do. And anyway,
Yeah.
So you got me going there a little bit.
No, I love it.
When you start a website, and we structure our Balloon Suite plans the same way, when you're just getting in, if you're thinking about, I don't have a website, I need a website. You just need a one-page website. You don't need anything more than that. But that one-page website's only going to serve your business and represent you well for a short amount of time in your business life cycle. You're going to need to start adding pages. So we have templates that are the one-pagers that you're going to get no matter what plan level you start with. But we have mini templates and we have full templates. Those mini templates look a lot like, if you right now, as you're listening to this, I don't know if Wisconsin Balloon Decor is going to look the way it does when you listen to this, but right now when we're recording it, we would call this like a mini template, a mini website. There's a handful of pages, and it's bright and colorful and kind of matches the target customer. We talk about full websites, full templates. And that's where we have pages for all the different types of decor, all the different types of customers, all the different types of events. And it's kind of an evolution that your business will go through over time as to what you need to represent your business and really capture every kind of visitor that you actually want to serve.
Right. Like your web can grow over time and expand. That's very cool. Oh my gosh. Well, you just blew my mind on the homepage. I always just like, what is this for? Just like a hello and a little picture gallery. Like, why have a homepage? But it's like the world's biggest sales funnel. I love it. Very cool.
Exactly. And taking the time to think about that makes a really big difference in your business, because and you hear me talk about target customer, you might think that you would serve anybody who wants a balloon, but that's like an optometrist saying, I will serve anybody with eyes.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't help anybody understand whether or not they're actually the right person for them or whether or not they should hire you. You actually want to be specific. And you want that specificity to come out in your website so that people know, yes, they do what I want. And so I'm going to contact this person. And that should really be focused on your best types of customers.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Well, how can people get in touch with you? I'm sure there's someone listening who's like, oh, I need this in my life. So where do they go? Besides the show notes where we will link, but what's the best way to reach you?
If you're ready to go, if you're ready to rock, if you're like, yes, that's what I need, come on over to balloonsuite.com. You're probably going to be interested in our pricing page where we show you the different plans. And you can get started and check out right there and subscribe. If you have questions and want to talk through something detailed about where you're starting from, maybe you have a website or you have marketing in play and you want to understand how we would transition from what you have now into a Balloon Suite package, you can, right there on the pricing page or wherever there's contact information for us. I've got a discount as a Bright Balloon listener. If you want to get access to your discount on our service, you come on over to balloonsuite.com/brightballoon. And there's a page there with coupon discounts. You can get a meeting set up with me. It's all real easy if you want to kind of have a more direct interaction.
Well, thank you so much. I'm so excited. My website will be changing. You can look at the Bright Balloon website. It is currently under construction and Balloon Suite's taken over. So you will be able to see how that changes over time. I'm very excited to have some help and very excited about your support, Jeff. Thank you for being a supporter of the podcast and our community for so long. I really appreciate you.
Absolutely. And I look forward to being in your ear again as you listen to the next episode or seeing you at an event if you come to an industry event here in the next little while.
All right. Well, I will talk to you soon. Thanks so much.
Thanks for listening. As usual, I tried to keep it bright and light. If you are interested in bonus episodes, check out our Patreon group where I release an additional episode every single week and you unlock more than 50 archived episodes as soon as you join. Check out the link in the show notes wherever you're listening.